Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope your mental and physical health are good and fit. So today I'm going to talk about this. You could become who you want to be. This is something that I've been longing for when I was living in a dark place. All the negativities and all the thoughts and minds were occupied by those dark crowds of thoughts. But a lot of things were interfering my thoughts, or my mind I should say, because when I look back when I was little, I was, any kind of kids, they are so pure. They just want to do things, according to their feelings. They don't really consider what other people say to you as much as an adult. And they are just so pure. They just want to express what they want to become. I want to become an astronaut, or I want to become, something, go to the universe, or I want to, something really wild. I want to fly. I want to, ride on the clouds and all those wild things. And then when the adults hear those things, no way, but this is the kids, so let it be, right? But when the kids grow up and all of a sudden those dreams or wishes will be slammed down by a lot of criticisms, because it's just the way it goes somehow. And they were told it's no way you could not do that, or no way you're not fit for that, or it's impossible, we don't have any support for that, or any sort of reasons, right? Say no. And when you hear often enough, you start to believe that. You start to form the beliefs that, okay, this is not possible. Let's just do what the majority people are doing, or what the world or what the society is expecting of us. And it just kind of follow, whatever the path that is available in front of you, instead of creating it, because you get so many criticisms and all those bad words at you, so you just don't feel like pushing through it. For what, right? I was same way. That I remember when I was little, I had this magazine that I read every month. It's like a monthly magazine, and came with all those little things, all the perks, little bags or little box to build, or anyway. So one of them was the little tag that you put the wishes for, and it was supposed to become true when you're keeping it. So I kept it, my bag, with the wish, I want to become like sunflower. I said I want to become a sunshine. I want to shine people. And what else I said? I want to, it's really related to the sunshine. I want it to warm people's heart, or some sort of that line. So I wrote these things down. At that time, I was just purely, wrote down something that came out of me, right? And then somebody read it, or somebody said to me, that's so, dumb, or it's just something. I was criticized, and I was feeling really down and embarrassed and all those. So I kind of, from that day on, I kind of pushed those feelings aside. I put the the seal on top, and I try not to think too much about it, but it's there. So you have something like that, just purely coming out of your heart, when you look back when you're little, maybe. And everyone has something special inside. So try to really go back and be pure with your heart. None of those people who try to interfere with the words or attitude. It's just pure out of your heart, what you want to be, or who you want to be, really. So when you have have that feelings, you write down, okay, you take a piece of paper and divide the line in the middle, and on one side on the left, you put all those beliefs or wording that really encourages you or motivate, inspire, empower you. So when you read, it feels really good, you feel confident. And this is not something that you have to hand it in or anything. So you take it as like kind of fiction, like a made story kind of thing. So you could be so free to write anything you want. And on the right hand, it's a list of things or the wording of beliefs that it demotivates you, put you down. So you list all those things. So this is something, the area where you just don't want to become. And I have so many lists of these things that don't want to become, because I have experienced a lot of pressure and a lot of controlling, a lot of supervisions, and I just didn't like it. So I have so many lists of things that kids will hate to be, treated that certain way. So in a good way, in hindsight, I was brought up in a family where I have so many lists of things that I just don't want to follow or don't want to repeat, right? Especially as a parent, things that parents don't want to do to the kids, because kids will hate it, because I was the kid that hated. Anyway, so no matter what kind of a situation or environment you're in, you have things that you want to become and you don't want to become. So when you have the clarity and you could know which one to focus on, which one you need to put energy on. So now you have things that you really inspire and encourage, empower you. And then probably you find people who are living like that around you, maybe, I don't know, in the YouTube or somebody in the past, and you read their storybooks or, watch YouTube or just follow, observe, in a real person, how they live, how they think, what kind of vocabulary, the language they use, what kind of behaviors they use, and how could they become who they are now, and what's their history, what's the background. And all those things really teaches you how to reach to the point where you want to become. And you don't need to agree everything that people who you admire do, because we're all different versions. But as long as you have one point that you really want to adapt because you admire and respect, that's enough. And that's really good. And you adapt, and then you try out, and you start to feel how they feel. And this is something you really need to put in action. So you start small, like how they behave, and maybe they say hello to people on the street all the time, give the good smile and cheerful greeting. Is just very basic things that anyone could do it. There's no money involved. You don't have to be rich or anything to do that, right? So put the money aspect on the side, because money is something that you might be focusing on too much, and lack of money will really interfere of your process of this thought, because I can't do that because I don't have this, right? I tend to do that too. So just put the money aspect on the side, or you think to yourself like you have $10 million in your account, so you have nothing to worry about the rest of your life. What do you want it to do? How you want to live, right? And then you make the list. Then so you observe people who are actually living the life that you dream of, and you observe, and what do they do? How do they have their life going? I mean, the day goes, because we have 24 hours in a day, and they don't have 36 hours in a day. So they must be doing something that are different from what you're doing, right? It could be very tiny, different things, but you want to know that, to adapt to in your lifestyle. And those things that really build up to to the point where you start to shifting to that person that you think you want to become. And then you appreciate yourself who become that beforehand. When you wish or when you say I want to become, it means or implies that you're lack of that. You're not there. You haven't been there. So it's a negativity of, it's more like it's a lack of that. So you say to yourself, I've already done, I've already did this. Thank you very much. You appreciate, all those helps that move you to that point. So the using the words power, it's really, really useful, because the word will really bring you to the point where you want to become. So watch what kind of wording that you use in your daily life too. This is a kind of word that bring you down or moving you forward. So just the subtle things. And again, this doesn't take anything, any monetization. It's just your mind, your conscious mind, and your wording. So those little things will build up to make who you are, who you become, who you want to become. And focus on the things that you want to become. And less focus on things that you don't want to become, right? So have those lists, which is very which helps to clarify your mind. So writing journals, for instance, it really helps to really clear and reframe your mind. And things that keep in mind is that be yourself and really listen to what you really are saying to yourself. And none of those outsiders will tell you shouldn't be bothering you, your decision makings, or how you really feel about yourself. So be yourself, and you could become who you want to be. And you get closer to that, and your vibration will go up, and your frequency goes up, and you start to see the world from bigger picture, and you feel really, really good about yourself. So you could keep going forward and encourage yourself and empower yourself even better than right now. Okay, so see you in the next video.